Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. So as you see, we are facing Kai Leng for the second and last time. This is a boss fight. It's really not that hard, especially as an engineer. He just essentially jumps around and break dances and does the backflips and whatever, occasionally shooting out a projectile at you and trying to close, and if he closes on your party members, he'll pretty much instantly kill them with his melee. And then once he takes enough damage to his shields, he runs away to predetermined locations, scripted locations, pounds the floor, and Cerberus guys come. And that's really it. Rinse, repeat. So I'm just taking out the Cerberus guys. If you're an engineer, it's a good idea to have a drone out on him at all times. He will get distracted by the drone, and it will prevent him from closing in on you. And then just spamming overload on him. And definitely use EVs, or rather ED's overload whenever possible. Decoy didn't seem to make too much of a difference. He didn't seem to want to cast it actually when it was just him. But again, once his shields get low enough, he's going to get out of that hole that he's stuck in. And there he goes, he's going to run there and pound. And now more assault troopers, but also a nemesis sniper. So if you have grenades, and I'm out of grenades right now, though after I die, it'll refill his grenade count, and I'll be able to use them. But if you have grenades, it's definitely a good idea to use one here and just kill all the assault troopers and try to kill the nemesis sniper. Or just set up a biotic detonation or a tech detonation. I did that. I lit them on fire with AoE Incinerate and then used Carnage to finish one guy off, so that blew pretty much all of them up. Worked pretty well. This is actually going swimmingly, but I do end up dying. Very end. Always the best time to die. But that's okay. I don't really change my strategy though for the most part. I generally just hang back here, keep him as far away from me as possible. But now he summons two phantoms. And the phantoms need to be bursted down ASAP because they will flank you, and they will kill you. Their bullets do a lot of damage. And I am just trying to distract one, and just burst him down as quickly as possible. And it's going well. And I see that one's about dead, the other one's nearing death, so the phantoms are about dead. But in a moment, I'm just going to die. Just all of a sudden, I'm dead. And I'm dead. Just like that. Don't know, I think he just shot me or something, but I was just dead. So that sucks. But what can you do? Sometimes you just explode. The best laid plans. So I actually do die again, but I'm going to be just cutting that out. It wasn't particularly interesting. I pretty much die the same way. I just get flanked by a phantom and shot to death, so I'd rather just keep this condensed, but I do die again, so keep that in mind. But I feel like it's probably a good idea to stay back here. Just keep your distance from him as much as possible. If he does actually close on you, he will kill you pretty much instantly. And if you manage to break his melee sequence, his sync kill on you, you'll just get gunned down by his support anyway. So, as an engineer, I feel like this is a good idea. Same as an adept, really. I would probably stay back here. As a vanguard, what you might be able to do is actually wait for him to close to you and ignore his fire support, and then once he's right next to you, charge to his fire support, do a quick nova over there, kill them all instantly, and now you're in good flanking position. As an infiltrator, well, you have Tactical Cloak, which gives you perfect freedom of movement at all times, so you're free to flank whenever you want, really, and run away and whatever. As a sentinel, it really depends on whether or not you're more of a melee sentinel or an artillery sentinel, and the same kind of goes for a soldier. Are you more of a melee soldier, or are you more of a defensive sniper soldier, or what have you? It really just depends on playstyle. There are different ways to beat this fight depending on your class, but this is the strategy that I stuck with. Narrowly avoid that grenade with my fancy cover switch skill. I'm getting better about using cover switch, I say. A little bit. Remembering to do it more. Keeping it in mind. But next up we will be doing the final mission. It is on Earth. May as well just tell you now, we are going back to Earth. And it was fun, but I will say that it probably had the most difficult fights in it. By which I mean, there were a lot of difficult fights on the planet, so it had the largest collection of difficult fights of any single mission, of any world. However, I do not think that the fights on the final planet, on Earth, were the most difficult in the game necessarily. Taken together, it was tough, but taken on their own, they weren't really the hardest fights ever. There were two that were a little tough, though again, if you were an infiltrator, they wouldn't be hard at all, just because of Tactical Cloak. But I had more trouble on Tuchanka, I'd say, than Earth. Or Grissom Academy than Earth. Though Grissom Academy really isn't that bad once you know exactly what to do, because you can pretty much just use one strategy and always win, which I demonstrated on my Grissom Academy video. But I think by and large Tuchanka was harder, but maybe that just depends on the class and on the player and whatever else. But I will finally not be making the same mistake. I will not let the Phantoms flank me, and actually I did have the fortune of them just sort of moving away from me rather than rather just not instantly flanking me. So that helps. Also, if you played Mass Effect 2, this room should be very familiar to you, for the more perceptive out there. But about to take Kai Leng down, his red bar is very small. So thanks guys for watching, stay tuned for the final mission, and have a good one.